It's Cop Talk Live, changing cop culture. It's Monday night, a little bit of an impromptu live. Just touching base. Remember, we're live normally on Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific. And if you're new to the channel, the channel's about law enforcement, police accountability. I mean, for the love of God, how much more time do we have to go passing on doing videos, watching these cops out here who have no idea what the First Amendment is, cops who are shooting unarmed people? It's insane. It's insane. It's on a daily basis where we have cops who don't know what the fucking First Amendment is, cops who are just fumbling, mistaking tasers. Oh, that's not a taser, it's my pistol. Stupid agendas. 30 by 30, TikTok priority, trying to do more community policing by dumbing down the profession to doing dancing routines. And it's insane. Anything but actually doing what the job is, right? And actually learning what the Constitution is, learning what the stoicism and respect and honor of what that badge is. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the public who sits there and they want to live a life without harassment. They also want to know that shit's done right. I know many of you out there are all like, well, we just need to get rid of the police. Realistically speaking, it's not going to happen, because in some way, shape, or form, you know, everyone loves to drive, right? I have a very big, easy solution to get rid of traffic stops and squad cars on the street. Go to some futuristic thing like The Fifth Element, where all cars are just driven on a grid by just AI. Go to there. Then every car will have to drive the speed limit, no more than 55 miles an hour. So you got to get to work, and it normally takes you 40 minutes. Well, you know, that's because you speed. Now it's going to take you an hour and 10, you know, and you're going to have guaranteed no accidents, no DUIs, complete safety. And the price of having all the cops off the street to get free safety, or the complete safety, and so you won't ever be harassed with citations again, is loss of autonomy, loss of personal autonomy and freedom in driving your car. So that's a good way to do it. So realistically speaking, you're never going to get rid of cops. It's how it is. But we need to demand that highest standard possible is on the table. And I'm going to be damned, it's what I'm doing. And I will die on this hill for more than anything else. If you're new to the channel, there's many ways to support it. If you believe in police integrity, or at the very least you hate the police and you want to see a fucking change, then support the channel. There's many ways to do it. And you'll go down the links below. You could buy my book. You can become a Patreon member. You can buy me a coffee. If you believe in the concept of holding police accountable, nobody's got a bigger mouth than I do. And I'm going to tell you flat out, we have a lot coming. I'm going to start branching out. And I think that I need to go actively to where I'm not wanted, right? On scene, and talk to cops and say, listen, I know exactly what it's like with your command staff and your policy and everything you're restricted to doing, but we need to make these changes for the better. I saw this video. I've critiqued this guy before. I don't know who he is. He's been on Wild Chaos podcast quite a bit, and he's an embarrassment. He's a clown. And again, I'm basing it off of the clips that they put up online. Maybe if I had a conversation with him, if I knew who he was, I would see eye to eye. But I saw this. This is what happens when cop writes up another cop. When a cop writes up another cop, our guests say it's a career killer in some circles, and the badge of honor others. You'll either be hated or respected. Well, we need to take a look and listen and hear what he has to say about it.
Let's say you do arrest another cop or a senior cop. What's the backlash that comes with that? Have you seen like repercussions?
I'm afraid to say, but yes, I've seen both avenues of that. There was a guy in the district that I worked in that he would DUI anybody.
Okay. Which I'm one of those people. Because I got kids on the road.
100%. Obama drove through. He would DUI Obama. Yep. He does not care who you are, what you do for a living, who you know. He doesn't care.
See, I agree with that.
And right. And then there's guys that pushed back on that. They were like, oh, watch this guy, blah, 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 this, that, and the third, you know. And I look at it two ways. I look at it the way you're saying, and then I look at it like you cannot, if you're targeting it, it's different. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're going out there saying, I'm just going to get coppers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
But
you're going to let all the other DUI guys go by, then that's...
No, I have a problem there for sure.
Yeah.
You're just an asshole at that point. If you're
Right. But I've seen guys complain about it and be like, oh, man, this guy is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so the guy that I'm talking about, his niece...
Gave her a
DUI.
ticket?
No, DUI, sheriff, T-boned her and killed her.
Oh,
so he's got
okay.
the chip.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's
not letting nothing slide.
okay.
You know?
Yeah. Let's see.
It shouldn't even take that, and I think you should target other cops. My background, before I became a cop, I was a bartender at a 4 a.m. nightclub in Chicago. It was called Dakotas. Well, the suburbs of Chicago. It was like 4 a.m. bar, and we had all the cops that came in the area, Schaumburg Police, Arlington Heights, Rolling Meadows. I mean, you name it. It was a cop bar for the most part. Cook County Sheriff's Department. It was awesome because as a bartender, when we loved to get in the fights, our asses were protected. We could do whatever we want. I can't tell you how many cops I saw on all the busy nights, which was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All of them were drunk. All of them were armed. I didn't drink. I barely drink. I think I have a Peroni in the summertime after mowing the lawn, maybe once or twice a summer. I'll have a glass of wine every now and then. I could do holidays, chilled Sambuca with my sisters. I'll slam that. I don't drink. I've been very public on this statement for years. And if this offends any of you, I don't care. I think if you drink and drive in today's society, knowing that there's Uber, there's Lyft, there's phone calls, hell, some police departments will drive you back, taxi cabs, and your family. I don't think you have any value as a human being. And I've got family who's drunk and drive. I've got family who's had DUIs. I don't think that you have any value as a human being if you knowingly get in the car drinking and driving. And I've said this for years, and God forbid that ever, like for some lightning strikes me and I do it, it's up. It's up in perpetuity. You said this about yourself, man. You may as well swaddle a bottle of sleeping pills at that point because you have no value as a human life anymore. The cops, I saw countless of them. I worked with cops who drank, drove, got in car accidents. Nothing happened to them. It was alleged that our first, chief of my first department, he came to work with a dented fender one day, pretty bad. Well, DUI. It's insane. Specifically, the crime of drinking and driving, which the last arrest I ever did was on a county sheriff from the county that bordered us, and I would do it again. Would absolutely do it again. I would 100%. And for him to say you shouldn't go looking, yeah, you should. You should 100% be looking for everybody. I think DUIs, again, should be a primary target of every cop on the street. At the same time, too, I think you should actively go 100 times harder. If there's a cop bar and you got, stake out there, post out there 100%, chuck those tires, I think you should do. But it blows me away that this is where we're at, that we still have people who are fostering and encouraging us a culture where, no, you don't want to do that. No, you're going to be a bad guy if you go ahead and, just your fellow, don't go looking for them. But if you happen to come across it, no. And part of the mission that if I had my way, if I have the emperor's staff of power, I would make it so that every cop that commits a crime that they arrest somebody else for, at the very least, their sentencing or punishing is double. So if you get a suspended license as a DUI, cops get immediate revocation. Revocation. That means they can't even drive at work. They're not able to. They lose their jobs. The consequences for police, simply because it's a hypocrisy, needs to be insanely more severe when we go to cops being held accountable for their actions. Hang on. I do want to address you guys in the comment section because we are live today. Hang on. I'll even put the phones on. 982-0974, 708-982-0974. I came on live today just to bridge during the week because I hadn't been live the last couple of weeks, and we changed the time. So it's a notification for all you awesome people out there. Phone is open if you do want to call in. If you think that I'm too harsh when it comes down to, drinking and driving, I don't care. I think that every cop should be crucified to the highest level if they drink and drive. Let me see your comments here. Happy Monday to everybody. Venom team, what's going on? Heat 1 Max up. Brindle BO1. Izzo, what's good, brother? Hope you had a great weekend. I had an awesome weekend. I appreciate that. Guys, I appreciate you looking out for me. Support and sponsor the show, guys. Go ahead and click in that description below, or I'll even put it in the chat. We are taking your well-earned money off of your hands to support and grow the mission that we have here, and I'll put it in here. Buy me a coffee is an easy way to go ahead and do that. Again, if you believe in police accountability and you believe in exposing the shit that goes on and making change, then support the channel and be a part of what we're doing. Brindle, I hate someone who drives drunk. As a paramedic, I've seen way too many DUI wrecks, fatalities, and sadly, there were more than a few public officials involved that got off every time. Dude, all the time. It's insane how many people who are mayors, village trustees, they get away with it, and it absolutely blows me away. And as a paramedic as well, too, you see the aftermath of, where it sucks. You got to treat the scumbag who drove into a family, and it's very beyond frustrating. Got to curl the stash today. Payne Wilton, privilege is driving have as a cop being a privilege, or do they need to drive when it works? I don't understand what you were saying there. I don't understand. Payne Wilton, cops are peace officers. They're like FedEx employees. They try to rule over us. I get it. If you want change, man, then make sure you share our videos, support the channel, subscribe if you haven't already, and go and buy me a coffee. 1104 Ray, I don't drink at all, never really have. I'm a loser in my area. Dude, I can't say I enjoy it, because I don't. I don't drink anywhere where I don't have family watching over me. Like, literally, the only time I will drink is with my sisters. That's it. And it's around Thanksgiving. Usually, that's like the only day I drink. Again, I will have a beer, a Peroni. It's Italian, I think it's like a Pilsner. I think so. Like Italian Miller Lite. And on a hot summer day, I do think that beer, if you are burning your balls off doing yard work, a beer tastes fantastic. One is all I will ever do, if I even finish one. And that's it. But I'm not driving anywhere. It's just not going to happen. I don't because I get tired when I drink. And even one beer, I think I have an alcohol allergy. You get one beer and it's like, dude, I'm not used to this. I'm like, all right, I can go take a nap somewhere. And I don't want to be tired. So I don't do that. I knew cops that drank in the parking lot after their shift and drove home. When I first was working at this bar in the late 90s, I would hear stories about the county sheriffs who would come in and they would ask for an orange juice on duty. And that was code for, put a little vodka in it. It's not something that hasn't happened or is a rare occurrence. It happens, and it's amazing. Do you think cops should get triple the punishment? 1104 Ray. I do. I literally think, like I was talking about earlier when I did a Friday's Live, is that I think if you willfully violate the Constitution, it should be capital punishment. It's treason. How is it any different? Literally, here is somebody who says, I know that a driver has freedom of speech, but I'm going to be like, hey, you know what? Fuck you. Oh, you said fuck me. Put your hands behind your back. Because I'm the cop. I've got the big dick and the badge. You don't. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. Capital punishment. And capital punishment, or treason, should be punished by capital punishment. The Enforcer 47 says, government doesn't have any power over the people anymore. We are all equal. That's I don't know what country you're living in, but damn. Venom is clarifying that statement. I think they're asking whether driving is considered a privilege of police, or does the idea of it being a privilege not factor in because they must drive to enforce the laws? It's a privilege. No. How do they have to enforce the laws? I mean, you can. No, it's not necessary. Look at all the guys who do foot patrol. You can still stop a car if you can. I don't really know, but. I don't know. That video, again, all that guy's content really, really chaps my ass when I see it. I don't like the excuses that he puts up. Let me see if there's any other content he's actually done. I know. I have to go looking. And it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that somebody still thinks that there is integrity in... good old boys policing. I don't know. I'm giving Wild Chaos Podcast a shout. And you should look at him. I think he's got some good content up on there. I just don't know why the hell this guy is on this stuff. So let's take a look here. See if there's any more content with that cop. Yeah, all right. I did this one the other day. Arguing with a cop will always cost you. It blows me away that people are still that dumb where they acknowledge it.
God, did you know immediately that you were hit?
I knew I was hit, but I thought it, to be honest, the adrenaline, I thought it was like a BB gun or something.
Did you feel it hit your head?
I felt it hit my head, and I felt it hit my arm.
And you thought it was like a pellet gun?
I was like, this fucking guy shot us with a BB gun. I remember, like, I can't believe this fucking guy, like, we're really going to fuck this guy up now. I was so pissed off. I was like, a BB gun? Really?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
If he's out of law enforcement, I'm glad. Number one, I don't arbitrarily bend the knee because somebody got fucking shot on duty. I don't. I know, I haven't talked to him in a while, but Officer Jeremy Charlo, shot on duty. I mean, seriously shot on duty, had some awesome trauma that cultivated him into being somebody now who advocates for PTSD and helps people out with that. So it is one of those all things happen for a reason. But just because you got shot on duty doesn't make you fucking special. We never seem to celebrate the cop who goes 20 years and doesn't get a complaint on him. 20 years who patrols the streets and has served everybody righteously. It's like, that's a boring cop. You know, the guy who actually was part of the community, did the job, the Tommy Normans out there. We don't celebrate those people. We celebrate, oh, you got in a gunfight? What was it like to get shot at? I don't care. And then you're openly admitting that you can't control your temper and you're going to fuck somebody up because you thought they shot you with a BB gun? Dude, this is the diseased brain mentality of Cop Center. How many guys has this guy just jacked up on duty? How many people's constitutional rights has he abused? How many false arrests has he done where he's admitting, I thought it was a BB gun, so I was going to fuck him up? I would understand you got shot and your first reaction is, fuck you, I'm going to equally retaliate now. But if you thought, oh, you kind of shot me with a pellet gun, I'm going to fuck you up, shows the diseased brains we have wearing badges.
And so once he turns and hits Jeff falls down.
Did Jeff fall as in stumble, or he fall like lights out fall? Because there's a difference.
No, he didn't fall lights out.
Okay.
He stumbled and like he's got a bullet right here.
Yeah.
So he like stumbled and fell, and where I was at, I was right behind him. So he was right, probably where you're at, facing that way. So and I'm this way.
So did you see this guy's pistol come over?
No.
Okay.
So the reason why I know he did that is because Jeff's story makes sense, because I fell on the third shot. I fell right behind Jeff.
Okay.
So when when this one, I don't know if this one hit me second. I don't remember, but either it was a second or third shot that hit. First one grazed me.
Yeah.
For sure. And I still have the scar on my head. It grazed my head.
Really?
That one I felt, and then the other one, either it was this one or it missed me, but there was 3 shots to it. I fell, and Jeff fell after he got shot, and Jeff gets on one knee, and he fires off 2 shots. And the guy takes off like a bat out of hell down the alley, and the round hits him in his forearm.
Oh, so Jeff got around in him.
He got around in him.
Okay.
So we're down. I'm like this. I'm like this fucking guy. Like, ooh, when we get this guy, because now I know.
Oh my God, did you?
Yeah, I still think it was a BB gun. This unbelievable. Mr. Whiskers, I appreciate that. The losers that grew up watching too much Lethal Weapon movies. I did too. You know, it's like, I talk about my experience with law enforcement was that when I was 26 when I got on. So I had all this shit out of my system. I got in the bar fights. We got in them all the time at work. They were brawls. They were fun. It was great. You get punched in the face. Yay. Fucking pig pile is awesome. I was a competitive wrestler, so I didn't really need to go prove anything. You know, I'm done, rolling around, beating people up and shit. And by the time that I got to law enforcement, I had already been in a position where I knew what it was like to struggle to like with the real world responsibility, bills and family and all this shit. And so for me, I started to see it as I can punish people, and I'm not about to punish people. I'm not going to judge you because you're, X, Y, and Z, and you just happen to break the law. Yeah, by definition, you're a criminal, but you're no better than I am. My job is just to document your behavior, give you a court date, cut you an I bond or cash, and that's it. I never saw myself as somebody who was going to teach somebody a lesson, and I think that's what we have. We have far too many cops out there who think that it's their responsibility to teach people lessons through force, and it absolutely blows away. If people didn't vote for the law, then you don't have to follow the law. This is from White Lion. The people that make the law on government can't go over our heads, but we're allowed to overthrow the government. Step right up, brother. Step right up. If you want to go ahead and do that, you go ahead and do that. American from the grind. I remember back in the 80s, there was literally no cops at all. The police department in City Hall, and one building that was the size of a house, maybe like 2,000 square in Florida. 1101 Ray says, I have a question for you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you support mag dump. Little follow-up if you support it. So when I talked about shooting for blood loss, the mag dump, if you will, no, I think that mag dump is a irresponsible excuse just to fire as many rounds as possible to terminate a threat, terminate a life-threatening behavior, if you will. So the mag dump comes from spray and pray. No, that's irresponsible. I'm not. Let me qualify who is and who isn't. I am a horrible shot. Now, if I get my hands on you, you're fucked. It's as simple as that. Your only hope is to outrun me, which it's not that hard to do. But if I catch up to you and I get my hands on you, that's it. So, but pistol-wise, no, I'm not very proficient with a pistol anymore. My academy mate, one of my closest friends out there, he could shoot a rat's nest with a pistol from 50 yards away standing, no support whatsoever. He was a Marine. He said all they did was fire. They got so good at weapons. It was insane. Now he could do a mag dump because we know that based on his skill set, all those rounds will go down range. I think it's irresponsible if you are firing at a target and the goal for your weapons is to terminate life-threatening behavior, and that's done through blood loss or immediate severance of the spinal cord from the brain, i.e. put the bullet in between the eyes. You want as many rounds going down into the target to induce blood loss. More holes, more blood loss. Simple as that. You want somebody to drop the knife, drop the gun, drop the flamethrower. They're not doing it. You got to put rounds into them. But if you are not proficient, just throwing down rounds down range, where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? High stress, low light conditions, shaking. You're actually in a real gunfight. You're not at a simulated bullshit in the range day. Your rounds, unless you've done it, you can do it in your sleep, they're not going to go down range. So no, I don't agree with the mag dump, but at the same time too, I don't agree with the bing, bing, and then check and assess. Bing, bing, check and assess. I think that you have to have a middle ground. There. Film the Police USA. My biggest problem with you is you don't shame others enough to also do their civic duty and hold government accountable. Too many scream at the clouds, attend feel-good protests, and never follow up. Well, I would pay good money to Izzo to go door-to-door shaming people for not attending public hearings. I wish to God I should do. Well, if that's the case, then support. Go ahead and support. Buy me a coffee. There's that link here in the comment section, and it's in the Peyton Wellington. Yes, you can call in. I'll be live for a few more minutes. You can call in 708-982-0974. Call in, man. It's a random Monday. I'm live, and that's it. We worked with one another, and I'm glad. American from the grind. You and I worked together. Where did we work together? Yeah, you're live. What's going on?
Hello?
Yeah, you gotta lower the background.
Well, I'm sorry, man.
I don't mind.
Let me turn it down.
No,
I just wanted to talk about case law for a minute and the judicial branch.
Yeah,
and
go
I just
ahead.
wanted to know if you're going to... And I wanted to know, like, because it says that the judicial branch has no authority to create law. And, and it says, like, the people have the power to create the law. So, like, I want to understand, like, all these codes and statutes, did the people make those, or did the government make those, or the judicial branch?
I'm under the impression that we vote for people in office, right? And those people act on our behalf, and they're the ones creating the laws, which blows me away, because every year it seems we get more and more laws that I don't ever remember voting to have somebody represent me over. So I'm under the impression that those we vote into office, mayors, village hall members, especially at a local level, they create the laws. Now, I don't know. I mean, outside of that, I don't know.
Yeah, so if we go by the Constitution, it says that the people are in charge of the law, Supreme Court and all this. So, like, you guys cannot make laws without us voting on them. And then all the laws that you guys made without us voting go, like, just like case law, Like the people didn't make up the case law, the government did, and, like, cops did and everything, So all those laws go against the Constitution, don't they?
So there's some things like, I remember where my mind started to get a little bit fucked over was, I think I was still on duty. It's like 2004. And I think Chicago police got rid of curfew because somebody successfully sued and won, saying you can't enforce curfew because where's that in the Constitution? So then I'm like, wait a second. Where's speeding in the Constitution? Where's domestic battery in the Constitution? And that's when you get into 10th Amendment states laws and whatnot. So I got really extreme 2014, 2015. I met Sheriff Richard Mack, and I literally, like, if you ever see What About Bob?
Yeah, I watched that a few times too.
So what about where he gets the books, and instead of reading the book, he just goes baby steps. He just takes the baby steps down the hall. So I'm like, Constitution. And I just literally like, dude, why are we doing anything that doesn't reflect what's in the Constitution? Literally, traffic citations, what the hell do those have to do with upholding the Constitution? You speed, and I stop you, and I go, man, would you do me a favor? You're just hauling ass. Stop driving fast. Yes, sir. Have a great day. I did my job. I stopped you.
Right.
I addressed what you did wrong, and I send you on your way. That should be the crux of every traffic stop out there. But it's like, what's the point? I don't know. I don't. It's above my pay grade.
I'm
That's
going
why.
to an example, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure, say we're driving down the street, okay, and like a cop stops us for the back light. I'm pretty sure I know that my back light is on. So, like, instead of them, like me knowing that it's off and I have to be fixed, but I got other bills to pay and all this shit, they just use that excuse for us to get stopped and for them to just fuck with us, And, like, that's what people got to understand is, like, they gave way too much power to the government and these cops. and they let them like set new laws and stuff. Just like I said, all these case laws is not law. Like judges can't like make new legislations. You know, cops can't make their own laws. And I'm going to use this as an example. Just say my sister was in jail, you know, and the judge said she can't sign this paper unless she gets out. Where is the law to that?
Repeat that again.
So I'm just gonna use this as an example. To say if my sister was in jail and they said she can't sign, she has to sign this paper to get out.
Yeah.
Like, where does it say in the law you have to sign a paper to get out of jail?
I understand, and I don't have those answers, right? You get a citation, you have to sign an I-bond, you have to sign a ticket. Look at the guy look at the guy who was just killed. He was murdered by, I believe it was an Atlanta cop he was a traffic accident, and this guy was in his 60s. He was a preacher. I did this content on our Cop Talk Live channel. You get the guys to sign the citation. It doesn't mean that you're admitting to fault. And the guy's like, no, I'm not going to sign a ticket. Next thing you know, the cop's on top of him, beating the shit out of him, and the guy dies on scene. It's like, you killed him over a signature. Where was it required that he has? I think the biggest problem for everything is we have cops who don't use common sense and cops who exercise emotions over rationale, where it's like,
well, it's that plus not having common sense. And let me use another example. Okay. Say I got to work at Subway. Okay. I got to learn everything, you know, every little detail that goes on that sandwich. So those cops should have no excuses that they don't know the law and that they're over here breaking our rights.
You're not speaking. There is nothing I disagree with you. I'm 50 years old. When I was 21, I took a job at TGI Fridays. It was a restaurant. I became a waiter. I went from Blockbuster Video to Fridays. I had 2 weeks of training. I had to learn my burgers of the week. It's how many years later? I still remember that Wednesday was a mom burger, mushrooms, onions, and mozzarella. And I remember Fridays was a Canadian burger with cheddar cheese and ham on there. It's like I had all that damn training. And to be a bartender, you had to learn and memorize all these cocktails. You had to pour test every day. And it's like, here's cops, literally. And I thought about this. You could, like, because of repetition, I remember still that speeding is ILCS 720. That's the criminal statute. Maybe 600. 11601B. That's it. I remember that improper lane usage, I think, is 11702. Right? But if you asked me to repeat them, I don't know them. I don't know the statute. I do. It's like, I do think that with as infrequent, you're going to arrest people for retail theft. You're going to arrest people for domestic battery, for assault. I think based on maybe 10, let's just say there's 10 common charges you will arrest someone. Every cop should have them memorized verbatim and be able to repeat it. Somebody, like when I first started doing live a while ago, it's even worse than that. A while ago, you know, somebody asked me on live, it's like, can I repeat all the tenets of the First Amendment? And I couldn't. So I'm like, damn, you know, how do you not advocate that? And then they took it a step further, go, do you remember the oath you swore? And I went, son of a bitch. No, I repeated what I was told. Yeah, I repeated what I was told. I put my hand up. Other hand was on the Bible. I got my badge done. Why did I not look at that and take that as, well, I got to have the shiniest boots, right? So why did I shine my boots every day, but I didn't remember my oath? So I agree with a lot of what you say.
Yeah, see, and then what it says in the Constitution about them not knowing their oath and them not knowing their law, you know, and them over there breaking people's rights, for them to do that, they should be put to death. That's what it says in the Constitution, you know?
No, I agree with you. Now, I said that. That is my stance. My stance is, especially now, more than ever, the fact that it is inexcusable with these First Amendment auditors everywhere, it is inexcusable that cops still, you want to be an idiot and walk up to a First Amendment auditor and go, hey, what are you doing here? That's fine. You can ask questions. If you choose to violate their rights in any way, shape, or form, and you put the cuffs on somebody for filming, and you know at this point that they could film anywhere their fucking eye can see, I think you should be put to death. I think that truly, and this is not a joke, if you have, there's so much power that cops have. We know that so many agencies still do not have body cams, like Polk County. I wonder what they get away with. So knowing that you can get away with that, you can manufacture a narrative. If you are going to willfully violate somebody's constitutional, God-given, right? We all say it's God-given rights, constitutional rights. Well, if you're going to come in and say you know more than God, I think that's treason, because you're clearly saying it doesn't matter to you. The highest law in the land does not matter to you. You choose to violate it. That should be capital punishment, and that should be after conviction, death by hanging.
Yeah, that's how it should be, because we need to start making these cops, take the fall for their wrongdoings too. They think they can just no one to roll over man or roll over us.
No, but at the same time too. But at the same time, I do want to see some system where there is a cohesive relationship, because I'm sorry, you do need it, because there's going to be times you live in a neighborhood and something goes wrong and the police do have to show up, and you're going to need them. You're going to need them for a neighbor dispute, because you can't go beat the shit out of your neighbor, right? We still have to live in a highly functioning, highly evolved society. And sadly, I mean, I would love it. You got a problem, you go over to your neighbor, and I think that an armed neighborhood that suffers the consequence of you do something wrong, your neighbor comes out, beats the shit out of you, and it's for a good reason. I think it's a polite neighborhood. But what do we do about the bullies and all the other shit? So I don't know. There's a lot of issues out, but I agree with a lot of what you say.
Yeah, the people just got to open their minds, man, and freaking do the research and everything. Maybe our world will be better,
Again, that's part of what the channel is doing. We have to find this solution, and make sure you support and sponsor us, please.
Yeah, I'll be here, man. I've been watching your stuff.
All right, share the stuff.
Been saying some good things.
Appreciate that. Thanks.
Yep. Well, thank you, man.
All right. Again, just impromptu on a Monday night. Just hanging out with you guys for a little bit, and I felt compelled to jump on. Steve Ladner, qualified immunity is not the Constitution. I know. Rico Baca, why do police follow black men around while they're walking somewhere? Well, if we're going to look at that from within, 13% of the community commits a majority of the violent crimes and thefts. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, sorry. If we want police accountability, then we also have to have black accountability, and the black community has to wind up taking care of their own and saying, you young idiots who are breaking the laws as much as you're doing, you need to stop, because you're perpetuating racial pattern recognition, if you will. N3WERH ham radio, Article 6, because that's V and then 1. Article 6 says that the U.S. Constitution is the Supreme Court of the land, and all state judges must follow it. I believe so, yeah. I do. Federal versus state constitution. I will wait for Izzo. Don't know what you're talking about. Don't have an answer for you. Why is use of force not equally applied to the public and LEO? I don't know. I asked about that the other day, and I gave an analogy where we have an epidemic of cops who are shooting unarmed people, right? You got 2 cops in Aurora, Colorado have shot unarmed people and killed them. Mustang police had a female cop shot to death and murdered a man who had a pair of gloves in his hands because the taser failed her and she couldn't take him into custody. She had another video I just put up on social media the other day where a guy shot a man in just a pair of shorts. I don't know if the man was, I don't know if he died or not, but we have cops who are resorting immediately to their pistol because they're pussies. They can't take people into custody. I have to be very careful how I say this. If I see a cop on the side of the road beating the shit out of somebody, at what point do I not walk up and go, take him into fucking custody, or do you need help, or I will help you, and then to extend that. And again, I saw some other video again of some younger guy getting body slammed by a cop. And again, and I've done these before. You get every cop, they beat the shit out of weaker people. right? That 70-something-year-old Asian man who was just flipped by that cop, the guy, that foot sweep Poppy who swept a 19-year-old as he smiled on camera, all this shit. But then when the big bad guys who are like real badasses are online, like the guy from, was it Vegas, who was a Marine or something, he went shit in the courtyard and 5 or 6 cops are all just standing down as he's walking around threatening them. Those guys are never gone hands-on because cops are too afraid of them. So cops are bullies. We know this. But at what point does the public observe police? Go back to Aurora, Colorado. So Aurora, Colorado, the cop in a traffic stop, I think it was a traffic stop or it was a pursuit or something, black guy gets out of the car and the black guy squares up with his fists facing the cop. Cop punches him in the back of the head. Black guy turns around, squares up at him. Cop shoots and kills him. If you're a member of the public, now that's an unarmed man. Yes, I'm sorry. I don't ever recall a moment where I was not able to take somebody into custody by myself or with another partner. Happened 100% of the time. I was 100% successful as my career went on to take people into custody without shooting them. 100 for 100%. Perfect record. I don't get how these cops can't do it today. And I have to wonder, at what point does the public say, you're about to shoot an unarmed man, which we expect to take you into custody. We, the people, are going to use force against you to protect that person because you are using force that will end in death or great bodily harm on a citizen. I don't know. But again, I could see that being a very good argument by a defense attorney if somebody does end up shooting a cop who shoots an unarmed person. I don't know. And it is not very promising as the future goes. Jennifer Hill, I would never help a cop. Sorry, not sorry. Why would you be sorry? Because you go help a cop 10 to 1 says you're going to get arrested afterwards. Simple as that. All right. And then lastly, what is this? Castle Rock versus Gonzalez, 2005. I have not looked at that. I will look at that. I'm going to be interested in that. That applies to our conversation. Guys, we're live on Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern. That is 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific. Call in, be a part of the show. If you believe in police accountability, if you want to change the culture, if you do feel compelled to then support, go ahead and click the link below. You can buy me a coffee. You can go direct to PayPal. You can buy my book, Before the Badge, everything you need to know before you become a cop. Everything you do helps move us forward into changing this culture because a lot needs to be done. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great damn night. I just wanted to pop on and say hi, and I'll see you guys Friday live at 8 p.m. Eastern for more Cop Talk Live as we patrol the internet.